Madrid. A Spanish judge has issued an arrest warrant for ousted Catalan leader Carles Puigdemont. His lawyer has told Belgian state broadcaster VRT, "I have just heard from my client that the warrant has been issued for the president and 4 of his ministers who are in Belgium." Paul Becker told VRT. Carles Puigdemont, Catalonia's ousted president, arrives for a news conference at the press club in Brussels. Photo Bloomberg. Mr. Puigdemont will stay here. He has said that he will fully cooperate with Belgian authorities during the procedure, Becker said. However, a senior court source told Reuters no warrant had been issued yet. Marta Pascal, member of the pro-Catalonia Independence PDECAT political party, outside the National Court in Madrid on Thursday. Photo AP. Becker said earlier his client would stay away from Spain while the political climate was not good, but he would cooperate with the courts. If they ask, he will cooperate with Spanish and Belgian justice, Becker told Reuters after Puigdemont and 4 associates ignored an order to appear before the High Court to answer charges of rebellion, sedition and misuse of public funds relating to the region's secessionist drive. Spain's Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy sacked Puigdemont and his government last Friday, hours after the Catalan parliament made a unilateral declaration of independence, a vote boycotted by the opposition and declared illegal by Spanish courts. Meanwhile, a crowd shouting slogans against the Spanish police has gathered outside a court building in Barcelona that is being guarded by officers from the National Force. Demonstrators holding banners in Catalan reading "Freedom for the political prisoners" gather outside the Catalonian parliament in Barcelona on Thursday to protest against the decision of a judge to jail former members of the Catalan government. Photo AP. The crowd shouted "Out with the Spanish police" and "Out with the occupation forces," while members of the regional Catalan police force, the Mossos, stationed themselves between the protesters and the national officers. The outcry followed a Spanish judge's decision to send 9 members of the ousted regional government to jail while they are investigated for promoting Catalonia's declaration of independence. A woman holds a sign in Catalan reading "Freedom for the political prisoners" outside the Catalonian parliament in Barcelona on Thursday to protest against the decision of a judge to jail former members of the Catalan government. Photo AP. The probe could lead to charges of rebellion and sedition. Speaking from Brussels, Puigdemont condemned the decision to order 7 members of his administration held without bail pending trial. The legitimate government of Catalonia jailed for its ideas and for being loyal to the mandate approved by the Catalan parliament, he wrote on Twitter. Shortly after the judge's ruling, Puigdemont said on Twitter that the Gang of 155, a reference to the article of the Spanish constitution Rajoy invoked to enforce direct rule in Catalonia, wanted to jail him and his dismissed cabinet. The legitimate government of Catalonia has been sent to jail for its ideas and for having been faithful to the mandate approved by the Parliament of Catalonia, he said. The jailings of the secessionist leaders and Puigdemont's flight to Belgium make it difficult for leading figures from the independence movement to stand in a snap election in the wealthy region called by the Spanish government for December 21. Puigdemont said on Tuesday he would go back to Spain only if given unspecified guarantees by the Spanish government. His flight appears to have cost some support for his cause at home. President, enough is enough, the influential Catalan newspaper El Periódico, which has been skeptical of the case for independence, said on its front page on Wednesday. Evelio Ramos, a pensioner from the pro-independence town of Berga, said, "I don't know what they're thinking about, but when someone does what he did and declares independence and then flees, a president has to fulfill the law, and if he doesn't, it is better that he stays calm, because if he starts doing something outside law, he is going to lose everything." Following a tumultuous month, attention is gradually turning to the December vote. Protests in central Barcelona on Thursday to support secessionist leaders as they testified in Madrid failed to attract a big crowd. Several hundred people took part in another protest called after the 9 leaders were ordered held in custody, many fewer than the hundreds of thousands who staged several demonstrations for independence over the past 2 months. Cracks have appeared within the pro-independence coalition of centre-right and far-left parties as well as inside Puigdemont's own PDECAT Democratic Catalan Party, where some of his allies are now pushing for a negotiated solution with the central government. The struggle has divided Catalonia itself and caused deep resentment across the rest of Spain. In Madrid, 20 secessionist leaders had been summoned by 2 separate courts to testify over their role in holding a banned referendum on secession on October 1 and later proclaiming independence from Spain. With Puigdemont and the 4 others in Belgium, only 15 turned up. All the members of the dismissed Catalan cabinet but 1 declined to answer questions from the state prosecutor and the High Court judge, who opened an investigation that could take several years before any potential trial. The defendants have played an active role by propelling the carefully designed secessionist process and overcoming all kinds of obstacles that could make them deviate from their final objective, the judge said in the ruling that sent the defendants to jail. She said the defendants, who could face jail sentences of up to 50 years, must be held in custody because they were a flight risk and could destroy evidence. One of them, Santi Vila, who stepped down from the Catalan cabinet before the declaration of independence last Friday and has since then been pushing for a negotiated solution with the government, was granted bail of €50,000 $75,000. A lawyer for several of the jailed Catalan leaders said they would appeal against the judge's decision. The decision to hold them in custody is absolutely disproportionate as we consider the charges of rebellion and sedition lack any ground, no matter how much the prosecution insists on affirming it, lawyer Jamal Anzacuvillas said. 5 senior regional lawmakers and the Speaker of the Catalan Parliament, Carme Forcada, were summoned by the Supreme Court, which handles the cases of people who enjoy parliamentary immunity. The Supreme Court agreed on Thursday to give one more week to Forcada and the Catalan lawmakers to prepare their defense, and a new hearing will take place on November 9. The courts have already told the Catalan secessionist leaders to deposit €6.2 million by Friday to cover potential liabilities. Reuters.